Hello, my name is Sora Luxon, and this is Tarot Card Video 3 of Pentacles, which, despite what you might have heard, is actually a card of great fortune and aristocracy and glory. This is the métier card, where a tradesman, a true professional, has come to the occupation that they are good at, that they are meant for. When we say to ourselves, this is my forte, that thing, forte, our real strength, where it becomes something other than what we're good at. It's also our mental, spiritual match in material manifestation. An action we undertake that in so doing makes us able to realize both fully who we are through the action we're taking and somehow more than we are in the process of doing that action. A specialty we have at something that ennobles us is another way to think of this. Words like dedication, hard work, a real love of what is being done, of the work you're doing. That's all within this card. This is our Lord of Material Works, who rules Mars and Capricorn from the 10th to 20th degree. Note the subtle triangle portrayed. We have the magic number 3. I don't care which deck you're working with. There's likely a thinly veiled triangle being shown here somewhere. Think of creation, to build, realization, erecting, more matter being at hand, and expansion or growth in transactions, commercial ventures, a swelling or surge in material things, an escalation in influence or rise in business because of actions begun that will complete later. This is attention to detail in this card, but it's an attention to detail that you are beginning that will see its full realization at some other time, at a later time. So you have a skilled labor, and you do have a nod towards collaborative effort, but that's one of the amateurish readings of this card that has to do with collaboration or management or cooperation. It doesn't. The driving effect here of the 3 of Pentacles is gainful employ. That is undertaking a task. It doesn't just mean a job where you get paid. Gainful employ can mean taking on doing something that results in more as a result of the action. So you employ yourself at something, and then there's a gainful reward result. Any work will bear the fruits of being begun, and the outcome will be good reward for the effort made. That is this card. Steady progress and growth. Personal objectives allowing for a contentment of existence. With existence, a contentment with existence. An ability to recognize and delve fully into moments that are materially gratifying, such as painting a picture, carving a wooden bench, chiseling a stone, forming the new accounting structure matrix that you're going to use within your HR department, engineering the core structure of the code that spawns the graceful, flowing computer program. When thought is unified with spiritual merit and enacted skill, you can create something beautiful of great material worth. And that is a wonderful thing. So often I see incoherence, a conditioned bias to think that any undertaking that pursues after the material or a greater understanding of it or a focus upon it is somehow bad. It isn't. We don't exist on a physical plane because we aren't supposed to pick up the clay and mold it. We aren't here because we aren't supposed to play with the building blocks and learn from them and create from them. Bringing energy, idea, subtle substances into material form, making the mind's imaginings solid and present. And in doing so, there is such a boon of self-confidence being engendered. In its oldest forms, in decks of Italian and French antiquity and further, before them, the images inscribed from the ancient mystery tradition temples from which the tarot was then derived, the 3 pentacles on this card were the reversed pentacles of earthly matters rather than spiritual matters. As time went on, that took on a dark meaning, and almost, in modern decks, all the pentacles have been flipped upright, very often simply to seem less threatening to a less than informed practitioner. But every symbol has its meaning, and the reverse pentacle had a meaning as well. And in meaning, there is wisdom to be gained. So on older decks, you will see the original consistent and meaningful wisdom of the 3 reverse stars as pertaining to earthly rather than spiritual matters. That isn't to say that there isn't a deeper layer of meaning within that. That if one looks deeply into the 3 worldly stars upside down, and the 3 of Saturn, that magic number 3, the force of Bina to build up for how spiritual energy can be used for worldly access to rise. And that in so doing, that just as stone by stone, a great structure ascends the material, built on the formal rigid blocks of known principle and conformed universal law, so too can the builder himself ascend in so doing. So too can that individual rise and build up spiritually, in the sense that any work done for reasons of true merit becomes a vocation. Any labor taken in hand with authentic intention and valid willed intention can and will become a calling, a means to spiritual growth during the task itself. Whether that task is digging a hole in the ground, building an arch, counting sliders on an abacus or a balance sheet, or being the monk sketching the blueprints to create the building to which to give shelter to thousands later. So often, again, I hear these amateurish readings of this card as somehow having to do with skilled labor, but skilled labor in the sense that you're cooperating with a team and some oddness there. This is a card of making manifest. The 3 is the card of manifestation. 1, 2, 3. Again, those magic numbers that points to the great symbolic triangle. 1 point in space, 2 connected, becoming a line, and in 3 in the triangle, we have enclosed space made manifest. So we see here 3 people not on the card, so everyone can speak endlessly about cooperation and team leadership or good management or whatever. That isn't this card. We have 3 people. We have 3 Gothic arches in the cathedral, 3 stars arranged in the sacred triangle of manifestation. We have a stonemason under the auspice of the Rosy Cross, a prince who knows the inner meanings of math and form and symbol. And that great magic number 3, past, present, future, birth, life, death, deeply significant. It's the number of perfection, the number of harmony, wisdom, and understanding. That's Pythagoras, right? You have, the Freemasons. Again, we see a stone builder here. So magical number 3, 3 doors and 3 walls, strength, beauty, and wisdom. Nature, reason, and wisdom. That's also of Masonic origin. So since ancient times, 3 has stood for good fortune and gains. And that's important to note here because those symbols have meaning in the tradition that we're looking to. This card is all about spheres of action in material matters, such as paid employment, cleverness of choice creating a higher outcome, building up more matter. One of the many errant or unknowing misinterpretations I hear is that the cross shown here is a Celtic cross at the apex of the arch. It isn't. It's a rosy cross, and within the rosy cross, there's the square cross. That is the equilateral, the balanced cross. In Greek times, it was called the cross of peace. It is the terral, meaning earth, cross. It's actually the symbol that we use for the planet Earth. The cross of peace reminds the illuminated perceiver to reflect on material matters, earthly matters, their merits, those experiences, and then so how those merits inform the internal and the spiritual. This is a Pentacles card, a coin card, a card of the 5-pointed star, just like every other Pentacle card in the deck. It isn't overwhelmingly about emotion or mind or spirit. It simply isn't. You're not going to see a lot of colors here. The only color you see is a little bit of that yellow, again, speaking to the mental that's being made manifest. So this is about straightforward earthly actions. Same thing if you look in older decks, you will see golden coins, a lot of yellow, not a lot of emotional colors, and a lot of very darker earthly tones. So not leadership, not management, not cooperation, not about relationships with others. This is not an emotional relationship interplay card. It is the working man, the laboring prince, his feet upon the plank as he wills matter into intended outcome. This is being renowned in another sense, being powerful, being celebrated for your ability to produce good works. Look to the 8 of Pentacles and you'll see the comparison. Here, the contract has now been given to the amateur. The work is being done by the best in his field, the best of his craft. It is a cathedral, yes. And in older decks, we see, again, those 3 coins of bounty. So there is nobility here. But it's a nobility of conduct in action. Work once given, carried out, and carried out well. Tasks once undertaken, being done to result in outcomes of growth and expansiveness. Again, lucky number 3, growth card, good rewards card. Words like important, renowned, magnificent creation walk hand in hand with this card. So what to do if you're looking at the 3 of Pentacles upright? Keep on keeping on. Hone those skills. Indulge in your craftsmanship. Enjoy the sense of fulfillment that comes with making. In caring, we avoid the mundane. So care deeply about the material. The material is part of the spiritual process. Look closely enough. Delve into your work, any work, deeply enough, and you'll see how the spiritual resides in all things, material or otherwise. Dedication allows our internal selves elevation. Great focus sparks those things that benefit not only you, but those around you. So be okay with that focus on the material. Continue being okay with focusing on it and doing the absolute best that you can. In the reversal, there's a tendency towards perfectionism a lot of the time. So we're taking those great good works, beginning, roughing out the form for the perfectionist detailed statue later. That's the upright. Here, that perfection is taken to an unhealthy place. So wholeheartedly seeking after impossible results, and therefore all the mental schema that's going to come with that, all the drawbacks and the anchors of fighting oneself instead of striking a good and healthy balance. In this reversal, the skilled workmanship is resulting not in beneficial gains, but great pettiness. So mediocrity is going to be a result here. Almost a greediness or a graspiness of nature, doing work simply for what can be gotten back in payment for that work. Rather than strength, you're going to have weakness of form, weakness of Bina, of material intentions to be made manifest. And again, gain, in a reversal, all those gains can lead towards selfishness or to having such tunnel vision on the task at hand that we can become very narrow-minded, even prejudicially so. So there can be a great, reducing of greater understandings and a reduction in general. If upright, the Three of Pentacles is expansiveness and growth. In its reversal, you're going to see reduction, minimalizing, minorizing. So a lessening of the material, a lessening of character reduction, form reduction, also immaturity, lowliness, perhaps. Rather than a noble building up, a debasing mediocrity, swinging us low. Lack of motivation, unwillingness, no sense of joy in accomplishment. It's very possible that clear channels of energy for intention to allow for material creation have been lost here in the reversal. So what to do? Well, if you're looking at the Three of Pentacles reversed, it's time to free those channels back up. Focus and dedicate yourself. Step away from the mean and the menial, from doing things simply for the sake of results. Step away from anything that pertains to less than amazing results, less than seeking out your forte and applying yourself to it in order to make imaginings real. When you appreciate what you do, others will mirror that energetic circuit back to you, and they will raise you up to do it even more and better. If you appreciate your work, others can appreciate it too. So care intensely about reaching a goal of making, whatever that making might be, and others will appreciate and care for your work as much as you. Keep in mind, the threes of the tarot represent Bina. That is action undertaken for better or worse. Until next time.